Hello and welcome to my budget with me video for February. So today I'm going to be doing my February budget video with you so you can see exactly how I sort out my finances for the month ahead. Hello, I'm Charlotte Jessup and this is the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel. So I like to go through my budget every month. I use a spreadsheet, I put the figures in, I work out if there's any tweaks or changes that need to be made, and this is the February 2021 edition of that video. Now these videos are proving quite popular, so I hope that you are finding them useful, and if you're not finding them useful, I hope you just enjoy having a little nose at my finances and how I go about doing my budget. So this month we've got a nice short month, a good solid 4 weeks, nicely spread out, starting on a Monday, going into February. So it's a really great month to try budgeting. So if you haven't done a budget before, then this could be a great month to do it. It's nice and short, nice number of weeks, no extra fluffy days you have to think about including in your budget. It's really straightforward. We haven't got a lot going on that's different this month, largely due to the fact that we're still in lockdown, we've got COVID going on, we've got no birthdays or anything like that coming up. We do have our MOT coming up, so you'll see me include that in the budget as well. So let's jump straight into that. So here we have the familiar side of my budget. So if you've watched the previous versions of this video where I've talked about my budget for December and January, then you will recognize this spreadsheet. So once again, I've kind of filled in some of the information so that it's ready to go for this video. So you will see that I've talked about our wages, so the money we have coming in. They're still called wages, but essentially I am self-employed, so it's just income from my job. My husband was getting a wage for part of this and is now also self-employed, so there's kind of a bit of both going on there. We've also got like the child benefit, and nothing in the other column. I kind of lump all my side hustles into my self-employed role because it's pretty much all the same thing these days. So unless I get a proper job where I'm going out of the house or I'm in some sort of employment, then most of my income's going to be going into that wage pot as part of my self-employment. Most of these details are the same as they were last month. And now the good thing here is that I can just copy these over. So we have under housing, my mortgage hasn't changed and my council tax hasn't changed. Although I think the council tax, we might get a new bill that's normally about April time. So there might be some sort of change for that one. So we have to wait and hold out for that letter. Mortgage-wise, I think our mortgage is up for renewal, not renewal, but remortgaging. Our fixed rate ends in June, so I'll probably be receiving a letter about that and seeing whether that is going to change at all too. Then we've got the utilities. Nothing's changed there. Last month I talked about our phone bill. That's all fairly stable now, and that will be that way for the foreseeable future. It's nicely under our 10% goal, so absolutely fine with that. I'll come back to food and drink in a minute. So in here, I've got this fuel cost, which was left over from last month when I copied this over to create our new February budget. But actually, I filled up the car at the end of last month. So I think about a week into the month. It didn't really need filling up, but I topped it up to full. So we're definitely not going to need any fuel. We hardly used any in December and in January, and I topped it up just to see us through the month. So we are not going to spend any more on fuel because literally the only trips we're doing are just to Tesco. So a full tank of fuel is going to last us weeks at the moment. So I'm going to change that figure there to 0. Now these ones in red, they represent the figures that are going into sinking funds. So we have a car insurance sinking fund and we have a car tax sinking fund. So the car insurance, the car tax and the MOT are all due within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So these are things that are going to actually be used soon. I am also going to add in here an extra bit for car maintenance. So I'm going to put £40 in there for car maintenance. We do have a pot of money that's set aside for our car, and I think it's likely that our car is going to need some new tyres as a minimum ahead of its MOT. So I will be drawing out of our sinking fund pot for our car maintenance. So it's likely that you will see in future versions of this budget that we will actually start to put regular amounts into that car maintenance pot. But at the moment, I just want to cover the MOT for this month. So I'm just going to stick that £40 in there. But thank you to COVID for actually us not really needing to spend a huge amount of transport at the moment. So we've got that transport percentage there is down to 3% and my goal was 15. So we're well on track for that one. Let's look at savings. So as you can see, I've put the majority of my fixed and regular costs in, and on the balance section over here, you can see that we've still got like £1,309.79 left to allocate. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in our savings. So I like to regularly save £500, which is our kind of like pot for fun money. We'd like to go traveling again, so we're saving regularly into that. I also have a setup now, which is £50 a month going into my pension. That's like a minimum, so I'm going to pop that in there. And I've also got £50 a month going into my kids' ISAs. So we've got a fairly decent percentage there of like savings and investments at 36%. Our like minimum amount is 10, so we're working on 36, which is pretty good. Like I say, I might come back and tweak that in a minute, but there are some other categories I want to look at first. So entertainment, we have a Netflix subscription, so that's ongoing, that's $8.99. We're still saving £50 a month for holidays, just for hoping to get some short trips and stuff in at some point over the summer, COVID permitting. Insurances are pretty much the same. We've got life insurance, that hasn't changed, that likely won't change for a long time. We've got house insurance, which is a sinking fund. That works out usually about the kind of like £120 mark, hence why I'm paying £10 a month. And we've also got another insurance, which covers all sorts of other things that we do through our bank. Now, personal allowance, I think I'll come back to. I'm going to talk about food first, and then we'll come back and allocate the rest of that money. So food. I really wanted to get that figure down. I really wanted to get that figure down this month, but actually I've realised that we're getting a lot of joy out of food, and it's one of the few things we can actually do that's fun. So I'm sort of happy spending a bit more. We can't go to restaurants, so it's nice to like do things like, make our own Nando's and, have steak and chips every now and again. So actually we get a lot of joy out of doing that. And I also want to add in here some money for some takeaways. We've got like Valentine's Day is coming up this month, and I'm feeling a bit worn out. We've also got a week off of the homeschools, the school holidays in a couple of weeks. So it would actually be nice to have some money to do some like takeaways and things like that. So I'm going to put £50 in here. That's like a McDonald's and then a curry or something like that. So that is good, and that can go in that pot. Still no eating out. That nudges our goal amount pretty close to the target out, but I'm happy with that. That's fine. Like I say, it's pretty much the only thing you can do at the moment, so I'm happy keeping that in there. Right, personal allowances. So again, we are feeling fairly happy with not having this at the moment. We don't have a huge amount of temptation for stuff that we want. We've kind of got a fair amount that's kind of just saved. Still got things like Christmas money and birthday money and stuff that's sitting there. So we tend to dip into that. The kids are growing pretty fast though. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit extra in here for clothes for the kids, because they are like shooting up like kids do. And I might put a bit in here for toiletries, because I actually want to spend some money on some new makeup. Like, I'm doing all these videos, need to look good for you guys. We don't have any birthdays this month, but I do want to keep paying into our Christmas pot. So I want to aim this month to give away £200 to causes that resonate with me. So I just need to update that so that it includes all of that information. So there we go. So that is kind of where we're at. That's like the basics at the moment. Any other things that I haven't covered? So this includes house maintenance. We're still done after doing the kitchen. No real urges to do that at the moment. However, there are a few things that I'm thinking I might like around the house, like plants and bits and pieces like that. So I'm gonna put maybe like £100 in here, which seems kind of excessive, but we do this so infrequently that actually we're now realising there are a few things we want to do as the weather's getting a bit nicer, and we're starting to look at the garden and think about the things that need doing there. So I'm going to put £100 aside. If we don't spend it this month, it will roll over into next month, and I might top it up again then. I've got a £50 payment here into my pension, and actually I'm thinking I might give that a bit of a boost this month as we've got a bit left over. So I think I'm going to add another 150 onto that to make that up to 200, which leaves me with £84 left. You know what? I might just make that an additional investment amount. So I'm just going to add that onto our total investments because there's plenty of other monies like laid out in this budget. You know, we've got savings are there, we've got lots of other stuff like set aside, you know, like toiletries, like wouldn't be the end of the world if I needed to dip into that. Yeah, you know, there's lots of money laid out there in that budget. One thing that I did want to mention was this electricity and gas, because I've been meaning in the last 2 videos to check to see if I could get this for lower, and actually I went through the effort of doing that. So I'm with Pure Planet at the moment, and I've been with them for a while, so we're not on a contract. They have a kind of like rolling contract system anyway. Checked with them, and I think there was one place that was saying that they could do it for £3 less per year, and that wasn't hugely motivating for me because I wasn't even that sure on the accuracy of our figures. So, you know, like, I think for the sake of £3 it's not worth it. If it had been sort of £50 plus, then I probably would have done it, but for the sake of £3 I'm not going to switch. I'm more than happy with them. And actually I checked the other day after not doing a meter reading for months, and we were actually in credit, so that was fab. So one thing I did want to show you, because I use this version of the spreadsheet, which is essentially the same spreadsheet that I have available for free on my website. But I did want to just quickly whiz through the features, the extra features that are on the free version that you can get. So as you can see, it's essentially the same. The only main differences are I've included in here some like extra sections where I've put in other so that you can tweak those labels for yourself. I have also, I mean, it's not something that is relevant to us, hence it's deleted on ours, but we've got debt repayment in here. So if you have credit card payments, loan repayments, and that sort of thing, that is all on there too. And I've given some other suggestions of things that you might want to include in, say, your entertainment. So there's things like sports. So if you have kids who are regularly doing sports activities, that can go in there. In insurances, I've included things like critical illness, union fees. So just other suggestions of things that you might want to be putting your money towards. Now, the other main difference is this bit that you have under this balance box here. And now this enables you to track your net worth. So you can put in all of your savings, okay? So you can put in how much you've got in investments, you can put how much you've got in your personal pot, your Christmas pot, car, house. So all of these pots that may be sinking funds, you can add those in there. Anything you've got in your holiday fund, and that will give you your total savings or your total assets. Now I've put house in here. Now it's up to you if you want to include the total value of your home as an asset to enable you to calculate your net worth, or whether you just want to include your house maintenance pot if you're renting or whatever. But I like to use this to put in the total value of our house so that it gives me an accurate reflection of our net worth. I would love to share these figures with you guys, but I'm just not feeling completely confident about doing that on camera yet, but I'm sure that time will come. Then you can put in your debts. So to calculate your net worth accurately, you would have the value of your house in the savings section, and then you'd have things like your mortgage in the debt section. You can put in things like your total credit card debt, student loans, personal loans, etc. And then this final box in the bottom right-hand corner will calculate your net worth for you. So this is how much you own, and it's absolutely fine if your assets, your savings, your investments and that sort of thing are less than your liabilities at the moment. It's okay to be in a negative figure. It just gives you something to work on. And I like the net worth as a kind of a more holistic way of tracking wealth building and your financial journey. Budget is a month-by-month snapshot, but net worth is a much more long-term gauge. So that's it, and you can get this free. Use the link in the descriptions, lookingafteryourpennies.com/budget, and you can sign up to get this version of the spreadsheet for free. So that was it. That was our budget for February 2021. I hope that it gave you some insight into how to create your budget, and I love doing these because it also keeps me accountable. I have to sit there and properly go through my budget so that I can talk you guys through these videos. I hope that there was a whole load of information there that enabled you to make some tweaks or gave you food for thought around your own finances and to see if you can make a difference here and there. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button so you can see the future budgeting videos as well as all of my other content. And I'd love it if you are doing videos like this on your channel where you talk through your budget, then drop your links below so that I can see those videos and maybe you can give me some inspiration for my next one. And don't forget, you can check me out on social media too. I'm all over the place in my website, Instagram, TikTok. So come and check me out there if you are not getting enough from my YouTube content. A big thank you once again, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.